Good morning, Lovett wrestling fans, and welcome to the Lovett School for today's qualifier for the State Duals Championships. Today we are at the Lovett School where there are 4 teams competing for one spot to go on to next weekend's State Duals Championships at Lamar County High School. This is the second round. The first round was last weekend. Lovett won the area duels. And today there are 3 other teams that have come in to compete. It will be Coosa High School, Fannin County High School, and Garden Hills, along with the Lovett School. And this gym right now, Lovett will be facing Coosa High School, and in the other gym, the Glover Gym right now, Fannin County will be facing Garden Hills. I'm here today. My name is Steve Allen, along with my co-host, Rocky Maximus Kaufman. And we are here to broadcast today's meets. Rocky, what do you think about today's competition?
Well, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. One of the things to know about Coosa is they actually beat the defending state champions, Chattooga, to get here. However, Chattooga is not the team that they were last year. They've had some seniors graduate, but on top of that, apparently they've got kids virtual, and as a result of COVID, they've even got a couple state placers that weren't in the lineup. So while Coosa beat the defending state champs to get here, I wouldn't take that as a sign that they are one of the top teams in the state right now.
Coosa did finish 4th in their area. Lovett is first in our area. So the way it works is the one wrestles the 4, and in the other gym, as I said, the 2 and the 3, which would be Fannin and Garden Hills. Today's match will start at the weight class of 126, and we'll go up from there. So the first competition will be 126, and then 132, and on from there. And then the next round will start at 132. They always go up a weight class. Our official for today's meet is Ron DeMonico. If you're a Lovett Wrestling fan, you may remember or recognize Ron. Ron's been connected to the Lovett Wrestling program for years. Had 2 wrestlers compete for us, Adam and Daniel DeMonico.
That family is really synonymous with Georgia wrestling at this point as well. Ron and his wife Melody have been working with Team Georgia for years. He's been refereeing for years. Great referee, but as we joked about earlier, the one issue for Lovett is if it's a 50-50 call, it could go either way. Ron is never going to show a bias for Lovett, so hopefully we don't get any of those 50-50 calls today.
All right, we're starting at the 126-pound weight class. For Lovett, it is Thomas Robinson. And for Coosa, they've got 2 guys listed here. It's either Braden Cooper or Ryan Spate, and I'm not sure which one they sent out for this match. Rocky, while you talk for a minute, I'm going to see if I can nail that down.
Okay, good luck with that. Got a couple lanky 26-pounders out there. A lot of just scrapping and hand fighting to start the first period.
Okay, this is actually Ryan Spate for Coosa High School, and Thomas Robinson for Lovett, who's in on a single.
And a single.
Trying to plant.
But Spate's working that leg in. He's trying to turn it into a takedown for him. There we go, 2 for Lovett.
And he immediately throws in the legs, tries to power half, get some back points.
Going between that power half and that crossbody ride.
And there he's got some back points. The referee's holding 2 points. And he's counting again to try to get another back point, still holding 2. So Thomas has picked up 2 back points.
For some of you old school Lovett wrestlers, it's a very different world. We all remember Glasser telling us to get our legs out every time we tried to ride legs. You will see a lot of these Lovett wrestlers throw legs early, really working that crossbody ride. This team has gotten good at that over the last several years under Coach Maldonado.
One thing Coach Maldonado does a really nice job of is letting kids play to their strength, and so he's got a variety of coaches that come into the room that help develop whatever skill seems to work to that kid's strength. And so legs being something that a lot of kids have learned to use and do a great job with here at Lovett. He's got to be careful that he doesn't lock up an illegal headlock, and he didn't. He picked up 2 more back points.
Steve, do you find yourself after years of coaching, you're sitting here commentating and you're struggling not to yell out at the wrestler moves while we're doing this?
Yeah, so one thing I do want to yell something, and Probably shouldn't do that from the announcer's table.
As a very specific example, we had a head opponent on the back right there. Would have liked to seen him take that arm under the elbow, bring the elbow to the head, lock down that position.
Looked like he almost locked his hands there. It was a good thing referee Delmonico didn't see that.
Only almost.
All right, now it's the second period. Coosa wrestler Spate is down, and Thomas Robinson on top.
Locked hands only counts if the referee sees it. Okay. Made an intentional effort to break his hands loose before he hit the mat that time.
In a dual meet competition, obviously the team, both teams are trying to score as many team points as possible. So Thomas isn't just trying to win; he's trying to help Lovett score as many individual match points as he can. So
trying to keep him in bounds right there, let the time run. So one of the things that's new this year is there will not be a GHSA traditional state tournament champion. So the state duels is the state championship for wrestling, according to the GHSA. Steve, I think you were just telling me that there is going to be a kind of coach's award for the state tournament for traditional. Is that correct? Oh, looking for the pin.
Yeah, let's see. He switches off.
Trying to get 6 points for the Lovett team right now. He's got to get that near shoulder down.
It's going to be hard to get a pin.
Yeah,
there.
it's a tough angle to get that shoulder down from there. He's got a lot of time to do it, though.
Probably going to have to sit up into a headlock here if he wants to get that shoulder down. And he gets it.
Hey, got it.
All right, Thomas Robinson with the pin. That is 6 points for the Lovett School.
Always remember, when you get pinned, you have to have something hurt. You roll out the shoulder a little bit, or the neck.
Now, one of the things you'll notice with the COVID protocols is that, interestingly, the referee doesn't walk over and raise the hand of the winner. And they pretty much just acknowledge that either green, which is the home team in this case, or red, the visitor wins, and he holds his hand up, green or red, as the winner.
And the wrestlers have not been shaking hands at the end of matches either, which I feel confident after 6 minutes of wrestling, they're not shaking hands is the thing that's going to keep them from getting it.
It is a little absurd. The wrestlers just finished a match. They were all over each other, and they don't shake hands.
Yeah.
Lovett just picked up a forfeit there at 132. Parker Coy with 16 points. So the team score at this point was 12-0. We're now at 138. Al Coy.
Defending state champ for the Lovett Lions here. And hopefully we get enough of a match here where you get to see some of his funk, because he is fun to watch wrestle.
I will say that Al Coy is the Campus Store Athlete of the Week.
Oh, there we go. Doesn't take long for it to get fun with Al.
I think you missed me say that Al Coy is the Campus Store Athlete of the Week.
It's quite a title.
In addition to being
Were you ever the Campus Store Athlete of the Week in your era?
I haven't been Coach of the Week, Athlete of the Week, or Dad of the Week.
I feel like at least one of your 4 children would have given you a consolation prize at some point.
I'd like to think. So Al, as Rocky mentioned, is a 2020 state champion for Lovett. At this season, he is 18-1, and he's seeking to be a 2-time state champ before he graduates at the end of this year. He has Coach Maldonado has said that Al has been a rock in our program every year since his freshman season. His unorthodox style makes for an entertaining match every time he steps on the mat. He also has 11 varsity letters at Lovett. It's been a pleasure to coach him, said Coach Maldonado about Al. Al also runs cross country and plays soccer.
He's working that bar arm, looking at a bar and a half right now. Anyone who's ever been in that knows how uncomfortable it is. So watching this match, you'd have to assume that this is going to end in a pin. Bottom man's hanging tough, but yeah, it's only a matter of time. One of the things about Al Coy is he is most dangerous in positions where you just don't know a pin is coming. you can think you're in a good position, and next thing you know, you end up on your back.
Funny thing about it is, I'm not even sure Al knows it's coming.
A lot of it is certainly never coached.
Al has been creating moves since his lower school days when he was in our youth wrestling program. And there's a pin for Al Coy.
So team score 18-0, is that correct?
18 to
That's
0.
correct.
Now we have
Good start for the Lovett Lions. One of the things is about this particular team, the lower half of this team is rock solid. We were talking about this recently. I actually put the lower half of this Lovett team as one of the better lower half lineups in Lovett wrestling history, including multiple state championship years.
So now we're at 145. We have Lovett's Nick Moffitt, and this should be Braden Hamilton, if I have my...
Moffitt's a sophomore, tough kid. He's going to be fun to watch in the years ahead. Usually very active. He's going after it. He's not going to sit back and wait for something to happen.
Nicholas Moffitt has been fun to watch progress, started in our middle school program, and has really just improved.
There you go. There you go. Just an easy circle behind for 2 and immediately goes to throw the leg in, going for that cross body ride. Needs to get that. Needs to work that cross body ride, really get that cross face in, dig it across the face. A little high for my taste with those legs right now.
As you can see, Nicholas Moffitt also riding the legs.
If you hear us say someone gets high, when you've got that leg in like that, you get too high up on your opponent's back, you can get yourself in a dangerous situation.
Moffitt has been working on riding the legs tougher, and I was coaching with Coach Maldonado a couple weeks ago at a tournament, and we were really working with Nicholas on tightening those legs up, not getting high, not falling off the top as he's
right now in danger of.
Yes.
Wanting to get that power half in, give himself an anchor. There we go. We don't want to give up points with short time on the clock here. He needs to hold on to that leg.
Got to stay on that leg.
Yep, just stay right where you are. Let the time ride out. There you go. So 2-0 going into the second. I don't even know. Can they see the score from the on the video?
I'm not sure if they can see the score from where they are, but it is 2-0 Lovett.
Underhooks. That has become another mark of this Lovett squad. A lot of underhooks from our feet. Trying to bully the opponent, push them around, take control of the match. There you go. Straight from the underhooks to a low shot. Finish. You got to get that other arm across the other leg. Keep it in bounds. Keep it in bounds. Score your 2. Another takedown. Out of bounds. We're going to start back in the middle on top. Good solid start for Lovett. It's pretty much what we would expect for the weights that have gone by so far.
I can tell you that the way the rest of the season hopefully will play out here as far as the schedule. Next weekend is the state duels where 8 teams, the Elite 8, you might call it, will qualify to be in the state duels finals at Lamar County. The following weekend, there'll be an area traditional competition where wrestlers will compete to qualify for the state individual tournament. And then the following week, it actually is going to be a Tuesday and a Wednesday, February 10 and 11, I believe, will be Lovett's individual competing in the individual state tournament in Macon.
We're working hand control right now. And he's changed off from that back to the legs. When you hear that cross body, it's literally exactly what you're trying to do. You've got your leg in on one side, you're driving your weight, momentum across your opponent's body diagonally, try and take them to their back.
Now he's getting tougher on top. He's got the guy flat, which is what he wants to do. So if he lets the guy's hips come up, this is where Nick gets in trouble falling off the top.
Short time on the clock right now. You just ride this out. All right, Coach Maldonado is signaling to take bottom. We've got a 4-0 lead. I'd assume that they're going to be looking for the major here. You need to beat your opponent by at least 8 points for the major. Hope for a quick 1 escape, then a 2.
At this point, it looks like just getting a decision would be a good thing. It's 4-0. I'm not sure he's going to rack up 4 more points, but just escaping is Nick's goal right now.
Yeah, I think there we go. There's our 1 point escape. Going to look for another takedown here. It's going to be interesting to see if we get a takedown, whether the coaches signal for him to cut him loose to try and capture that major, or if they're just going to let him ride it out. You can see the action has slowed down a little bit. These guys are both a little tired.
Cross-face
there
ankle.
We go. There's 2. Now what are they going to do? Well, he's got the barbed wire locked up.
There you go.
He's got him. There we go. There we go. That looks like a pin right there.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep, there it is.
I was just about to say, referee, get over there. He's pinned. You're a little slow. Well, that was a quick change there from a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, right. Ron's get a little older. Maybe not quite as quick as he used to be.
Great job by Nicholas Moffitt at 145 pounds.
Still one of the strongest. Our referee, Ron DeMonico, is still one of the strongest global CFOs out there. You should see that guy in a push-up contest. He's an animal.
All right, we are at 152 pounds. We're at 152 pounds. Okay, so
I believe that should be Garrett Burton.
Yep, and Will Lecomte for Lovett. So
you see that underhook again. See that left side underhook. Again, a Lovett staple at this point. Quick 2, spin around behind. Nice. This could be over quickly. He's got to keep him in bounds. He's got lots of time to get those shoulders down, but can he keep him in bounds?
Just about had him.
He's trying to bridge his way out of bounds.
Seat on bounds.
It's going to be close. There we go. That's it. That's it.
Got him. Yep. Now, for those of you wondering, you can get a pin out of bounds. I'm not sure if that was off your screen or not because it was so far over here to our left. But you can get a pin with your opponent out of bounds as long as you have 2 parts, your supporting part of your body is still in bounds. And so Will Lecomte's feet were in, and even though his opponent's shoulders were out of bounds, it still counts as a pin.
That is a rule change for many of you. Was it 2 years ago that change was made?
It's 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago. So some of you older wrestlers may remember not being able to get a pin when their shoulders were out of bounds. As long as you've got supporting points in bounds, you can.
All right, we're at 160 for Lovett. William Sharp is going to pick up a forfeit at 160 pounds.
Senior William Sharp. Luke Graham coming up next.
At 170 pounds. Luke Graham is picking up a forfeit. Now we're at 182 pounds, where we have MJ Greentree for Lovett, and they should have someone qualified for this weight. They do.
So MJ He was out of Virginia, is that correct?
I believe so.
So a lot of these kids we've seen for a lot of years, at least in the middle school program. Coach Allen here and I have coached a lot of these guys, some of them even from the kids program. He has not been with us as long, but has been a good addition to the Leavitt program.
Coosa's wrestler is Ivan Yoder, if I have this correctly. And their coach made a specific note of the fact that Yoder is in the one-act plays at Coosa High School. He's a heck of an actor.
The one act.
The one-act competition.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but good for him.
Hey, we were looking for information, and that's what he gave us.
There's those underhooks again. Can he utilize them for a takedown? There we go. Up. The
Put on
Coosa
a little
wrestler.
bear hug.
Coosa wrestler, you could see was going for a headlock while he was getting underhooked. We're tough on top right here. He's keeping good forward pressure, working hand control. I really like to see these guys. What are we calling that? It was kind of a fat man roll, wasn't it?
Rocky, you're speechless.
Doesn't happen often.
Wow, he got rolled there. He got a little too high and didn't lock anything down.
Looking for a cradle on top. He does have it locked up. That's not good. We're able to break it.
And 2 back points for Yoder.
Got 10 seconds left. Get out. Get 2 quick. That's 2. Maybe more. Yeah. Well, that changed rapidly.
Yes, it did.
Realistically, at this point, the team points aren't going to matter. Leavitt has run away with it, but always good to see our guys come away with the win. Freshman phenom
Christian Bell for Leavitt at 195 pounds. It's not often that you see a freshman at 195 pounds that also looks like Christian Bell.
So the guy who's run the Leavitt youth program for many years, Joey Kuski, saw this young man, I believe on a soccer field, somewhere between 6-7 years old, saw the athleticism, immediately tried to get him out for wrestling. He has been a fixture in this program coming through youth and middle school, and there's going to be a lot of good things to come from this young man.
Christian is a fun kid to coach. He listens, he works to get better every day.
Great teammate. And his mom might be Leavitt's super fan. There's usually not one person louder in the gym. We love her.
Say,
I'm actually shocked we don't hear her right now.
I don't hear her or see her. Sandra is fantastic, a great fan, and just real fun to have in the gym.
There's our cradle. It's the problem with that far side cradle. Sometimes you got a tough time pulling them back. Needs to get that knee in the side, get that knee in his ribs, in the back. There we go. Got him loaded up. Steve, you're one of those sneaky cradle guys.
I like to think of myself as sneaky about a lot of things, but yes, cradle's one of them.
That's what we look for in a chaplain, right? Sneakiness.
Christian is trying to load him up, sort of pull him onto his knee, and so we call that loading him up.
It looks like he's losing. You can see the head's kind of, it's not tight. Anytime you got someone in a cradle, you want to cut the gap. The bigger the space there is, hard return to the mat, or mat return as it's called.
Speaking of sneaky, I need to sneakily get some more coffee in my coffee mug while I'm calling this match. So Christian's up 6-1 on second period. As Rocky said, this match team score-wise looks like well in hand for Lovett.
That's what you looked like as a freshman in high school, right, Steve?
That's what I still look like, Rocky.
Uh-huh. For those who remember me in a Lovett singlet and see me today, I look like I ate that guy.
The Pillsbury dough, Rocky.
It's got that 2-on-1. That should not work. I'm just going to go ahead and say it that way.
And if he holds him there, it's going to be tough to pin now.
I was looking for him to take that 2-on-1 and try to tilt him up, not just sort of muscle him up onto his shoulders. That's one of those times where you know you're winning the match when you can do things like that.
It's 12-1. If Christian gets to a 15-point lead, the match will be over. It'll be a technical fall. So right now he's an 11-point lead, and if he wants the pin, he needs to finish.
That is not a real cradle. That's another one of those things that should not be happening.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. He's not going to get a pin there either. But now he's up 14-1. So it's a 13-point lead. The next time he turns him, he either needs to pin him or the match will be over by technical fall.
He's probably going to pin him with this.
This is a move affectionately called the Rocco in honor of Rocky Kaufman. Not because he invented the move, but because Jim Glasser didn't know what else to call it.
It's because I was over-dependent on that move. That's why it got named after me. Didn't really know how to do much else.
And there's a pin. And now we're at 220, where we have for Lovett, Wells, Camerson. And this might be Adrian Zavala.
Wells, a defending state finalist. He's going to be playing football next year in college. You know where he's going to be going again?
He is. He's going to Rhodes College. He's already committed to play football at Rhodes next year. I would love to see Wells continue his wrestling career, but because he has really been on a upward trajectory in wrestling. He started in 7th grade and has just been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch his improvement.
May not look like it from what you just saw there. He's actually been struggling with a lingering injury that they can't do much about. He's just going to have to suffer through it. He's in pain most of the time when he's out there wrestling, but most of the time you're not going to know it.
Yeah, he really has been trying to manage this back injury. He had it all through football. He had it last year in wrestling, and the doctors say that he's not going to injure himself anymore, but it's just a lot of pain.
So Wells started wrestling in middle school because he loved football, and he was told it would help him in football. And after a season of it, he decided he fell in love with wrestling. I believe there's also a little bit of the sport in his blood. I might be making this up, but I think his grandfather wrestled at Lehigh.
Sounds like a good place to wrestle. I've been working with the middle school program for the last 8 years, and for the first time we have some big middle schoolers coming up into the varsity program. We have an 8th grader who weighs about 190 pounds, so adding him to the program next year after Wells graduates, I think we're going to have a heavyweight of the future for the next several years.
And that's always been, Lovett being a smaller school, upper weights has always been the challenge. When we have good upper weights, we have good teams. And that's something we've been blessed with a guy like Wells.
Taylor Wilson for Coosa just took a forfeit. Lovett has a heavyweight, William Stimmel, but William injured his knee last week against Pace. Really sad, difficult situation for Lovett. We've lost our heavyweight to that injury, and so we had to forfeit that weight class.
Yeah, Stimmel's been another great teammate, great kid. As a matter of fact, this team is odd to me because it's filled with great kids. You look at some of those grades like 2000 class. I hope some of you are listening to me. You guys were special, but I don't know if I I don't know if really nice kids is what I would have referred to them as. What do you think there, Steve?
I don't know. They might take issue with you on that.
I don't think they would.
I thought they were.
I don't think they would.
I thought they were sweet.
No, not sweet. They really wanted to hurt you.
By the way, Lovett just forfeited 106. We do have a wrestler there, Jack Egan, but he's taken this match off. He's got also dealing with some injuries and did not have him compete. And now we are competing at 113 pounds with John Goodsell for Lovett. And I believe since this is 113 pounds, this is Travis Pelfrey for Coosa. Travis.
This is their defending state placer, correct?
Yes, 5th place in state last year for Coosa, so he's a tough kid. And John Goodsell is no slouch. He's a tough kid for Lovett.
He is. Goodsell's tough. He's got 2 more years after this. He is going to do some damage in the future. Could be wrong. Might be a little outmatched in this one with a defending state placer. Goodsell has typically been tough on bottom. You never know when you're going to see that Peterson come out. He's been known to have matches where he's down and hits a 5-point move. So you're always looking for that.
He's going to go for it.
Look at that. Got a little scramble going on.
Well, now that's a situation where you can see that, John was hitting a real nice move, was about to come out on top, and you can tell Pelfrey knows what he's doing. He was able to scurry back behind John and keep his top position.
I also think there's a little bit of a strength and maturity difference that came out there.
Yes, Travis Pelfrey for Coosa is a senior, and that's where experience and strength comes into play as well.
He's got that bar arm. For those of you who've been watching the rule changes through the years, you can see that he's got that bar actually breaking that 90 degrees. They changed the rules on this so often, can't even keep up with it anymore. You're now allowed to break that 90-degree angle as long as you're not putting pressure on the shoulder joint, is the last I've heard.
I actually think that's a good change of the rule. I hate it when they break
Agreed.
it. Just because the guy goes above that 90-degree angle with that bar.
Now we're potentially dangerous at least. He's calling it illegal. So that's where he was above that 90 degree and he was putting pressure on that shoulder. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. I don't like that either, but we'll take it.
I do. I like it. Working hand control, short time. If we get choice, we're likely to take bottom. Well, likely to defer, but they defer to us.
No, chose neutral.
Oh, they did. That was probably smart for them.
John did a good job on bottom that period.
He did.
I think they realized that he's tough to turn, and that he had.
And he almost got a reversal. So,
and
yep.
Took him down. So
and they're going to play takedowns with him now.
I think they realized that.
He's got that elbow jacked up. You never want to be on your knees with your elbow getting jacked up. Goodsell, the son of another Lovett wrestler from eons ago. I believe his father was a state finalist.
Steve Goodsell.
I apologize if he was a state champ, and I'm not saying that. I don't know.
So at this point, Pelfrey realizes that he's superior on his feet, and so he's not even spending any time on the mat with John. He's just cutting him loose. And it's legal. It's legal to do, and it's a way guys can make good use of their strength.
Yeah, this wrestler from Coosa is likely to be a top 3 wrestler in the traditional state tournament. He's going to be one of the tougher guys out there.
Which will be interesting because when we go to the state traditional tournament, we will most likely have Alex Hyman for Lovett at 113. Or no, it'll be Jay Kennedy who'll be down at 113 for Lovett.
Right. So we do have some as discussed, some lingering injuries, some guys out of the lineup right now. You know, some of these guys probably could wrestle and will be utilized if we need them. But when, we're up 60-12, don't want to take any chances with lingering issues. All right, here's your chance. It should be a caution.
Caution? No caution.
What's up?
What's up,
referee?
Ron?
Where's the caution?
Mr. Referee. We'll speak with the referee after the match about that.
We happen to be very good friends with Ron DeMonico, so giving him grief is a pastime.
Their coaches want him to cut him again.
Yeah, that's probably smart. He's somewhat dominant on his feet right now. When you're dominating like that on your feet, why not keep going back to it? Oh. Is that oh.
Wrestling fans, as we're watching this match near its completion, right now the finals, or the next round, there's only 4 teams here, is scheduled to start at 11. I will try to find out whether we're waiting to 11 to wrestle that, because this will be over by 9:45. I assume that we will, so that people can follow a schedule, but I will check and try to let you know before we sign off.
That was a win by technical fall. You get
End of
15 points more than your opponent. The match ends. You get 5 points for your team. We've got Logan Lutz coming up, and it is Lutz. A lot of people like to call them Lutz. That is not the pronunciation. Just another young man that came out of our youth program. This female wrestler he's got does well in the female ranks, and she is known for being scrappy, and she's a pinner.
Did you mention Logan Lutz for us? I'm sorry, I was trying to
Yes.
find out. Okay, excellent. Logan's
Made a point of letting everyone know it's not Lutz.
It's Lutz.
Drives the family crazy. Everyone stop calling them Lutz.
Logan's been in our kids wrestling program. It started in our youth wrestling program years ago.
Man, you should really have been listening to me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Said that too.
Okay. Sorry. I was trying to find out whether we're wrestling at 11 or rolling right into the next round.
So I would have expected Logan to be the dominant wrestler in this match. The one thing that we do need to be careful for, this young lady just in the last few weeks lost a match by decision one night, pinned the same guy the next day. She does go for the big move. You got to be a little careful with her. You could see even on that first takedown, she had that head and she was trying to do something funky to put us on our back. That's probably going to be the one chance they have in this match.
Logan comes, and did you say this too? Logan comes from a family of wrestlers?
Yep, I said that. No, I'm just kidding. I hadn't said that yet.
Okay.
That is accurate. Yep, his dad wrestled, and his grandfather was actually a high school wrestling coach in Iowa. He's also a pretty good baseball player.
His dad?
Logan.
Okay.
Actually, I think his dad is as well.
He's trying to run the old barbed wire, or as Coach Glass used to call it,
The Bob Wire.
barbed wire.
Man, we spent years laughing about how he would call it a bob wire.
So we all started calling it the Robert Wire,
Mr. Robert Wire.
named for Robert Wire. It's the barbed wire.
Barbed.
Because when you finish the move, it looks like you're, I'm sorry,
So you see her grabbing that
All
head again,
twisted up.
trying a little chin whip.
like barbed wire.
He needs to be careful with that. He's doing a good job keeping his weight to that other side. He's got her wrist now. He's in a good spot. Oh, there. Got the half in. It is shockingly difficult to pin these girls with a half Nelson. That shoulder flexibility comes into play. Should be getting a pin here soon. She's fighting. You will see far more women wrestling in the modern era than you would have seen a couple decades ago.
And a pin.
So that should be 72-16.
And that, my friends, is the final match of this dual meet. And the coaches are meeting at mid-court.
To not shake hands.
Not shake hands. Maybe a bump. Elbow.
The elbow bump. They went with the elbow bump. You always got to wonder if they're going to fist or elbow bump.
Now, at this point, we will try to find out for you when we will be back on the air.
You want me to go?
Yes. Let's try to find this out.
I will find that out momentarily.
So we can tell you on whether we will stick to the 11 o'clock plan, given that it's 9:40 right now. Okay. Yeah. I think Rocky's going to try to find out when they're going to start. They're conferring right now. So wrestling fans, Lovett has won the first bout against Coosa, and the other match is going on in the other gym, in the Glover gym, and we will let you know when we'll sign back on to see if Lovett will qualify, in fact, for the state duels finals next week in Lamar County. Lovett is circling up the wrestling team to get them prepared for the next round. Coosa will most likely wrestle in the other gym against the team that loses.
They've got about 4 or 5 matches left over there, and as soon as they're done, we're going to make something happen here. So
Okay.
They are going to run it early.
All right, so just so you know, we found out they are going to roll right into the next round. There's about 4 matches left in the Glover gym. So I'm guessing we'll probably come back in. I'm just going to guess a little early, maybe 10:15. I would say stay tuned. You'll see the wrestlers come out and shake hands and warm up, and when you do, means we're about ready to start. So we can't really tell you the start time now, but it's going to be earlier than 11. So wrestling fans, stay tuned. We're going to take a little break here, refill my coffee mug, use the facilities, and we'll be ready to go.
You just bothered to tell everyone you're using the facilities, huh? that made me feel good?
No, I'm not. No, that really was fun. It's great for me because I hope that nothing about
Constructive criticism.
more criticism of Rev in general is probably.
That's funny.
I do like those moments.
I felt bad how much grief I gave him last year when I did it.
Oh, really?
And it's not so
You
much.
gave him less?
I didn't feel bad that I gave it to him. The problem is I rewatched the thing.
Yeah.
And there was like 5 or 6 times, which wasn't that bad, except he didn't retaliate at all. So I just looked like a jerk.
Well, plus you're already on the losing end because he's the Rev, So it's already the odds are stacked against you in general. So that's why I appreciate when anybody gives me a hard time because I try to. And, it's nice that people.
I assure you, he will tell you, no one gives him a harder time than me.
Yeah, I believe it. Oh wow, they really have their weights down to the decimal. I wanted to see. So do you guys know if? Do we know yet if it's Fannin or the other school? It'll be. Yeah, I figured. What was the other school called? Glenn or something? I noticed. I couldn't tell.
I never heard of him before.
This is. That's the. Did y'all get a sheet for Fannin?
Not yet. We're supposed to.
I might write their names down. I said he's got to criticize you more. But you got to give him some back and forth.
But you don't have to pick up your game. I just have to pick up mine.
Yes, what he said.
Testing, testing. We're good? All right.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. We are getting ready for the final round here today. I do want to say, this is the one thing I was supposed to say at the last one. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this game broadcast without the express written consent of the athletic director at the Lovett School is strictly prohibited.
Got our captains out on the mat.
I can't tell you that Lovett versus Fannin is it's got a little history. Last year we went against, the Lovett School went against Fannin up at Fannin County to qualify for the state duels, and it was a heck of a match, a very close match. Lovett won.
Forgot about that.
And then the rest of the day, Fannin then had to beat Lumpkin County in order for Lovett to immediately qualify. And Lovett was standing around the edge of the mat watching Fannin in the last match of the day beat Lumpkin County, which meant we qualified for the state duels because they took third and we took second because we'd already beaten Fannin. A little convoluted, but the point is, Lovett and Fannin have some history together. They have a strong, solid team this year. It's going to be a battle without a couple of guys that are injured for Lovett. Lovett we're strong this year, but having a couple guys out is going to make this much dicier than I think a week ago we were thinking it might be. So,
for those of you who are listening to the earlier match, we may repeat some information just for those who haven't heard it yet, so excuse the redundancy.
This match will start at 132 pounds. The last match started at 126. They bump it up a weight every time we head into a new match. So we'll start at 132 pounds. And for Lovett, that should most likely be Parker Coy, unless we're bumping someone. And this is what happens in duels. If you're not 100% aware of what's going on, sometimes you bump guys to different weight classes. And I know you're going to have a hard time knowing who all the Fannin guys are because they may be bumping guys that we don't know.
So if you were watching that previous match, you'll note that Parker did not wrestle. He is definitely one of the hammers of this Lovett squad. Obviously, Coach Maldonado did not feel like he needed to wrestle him. But he's a potential state champion caliber wrestler. Yeah, what you don't realize when you see that, and you look at him, he's a lanky kid, but he is shockingly strong. Him and his brother Al, defending state champion, Al Coy.
Now in this match, we said this in the last match as well, but it'll be even more important this round that Lovett score as many match points as possible. So pins will be crucial, and tech falls and majors will be real crucial in this match. So Parker, I'm sure the coaches are going to want a pin out of this, nothing less. In this match, they'll be going for a pin and hoping for that as quickly as possible.
Steve, we're getting a lot of grief for apparently having hot mics during the break. I've got my college roommate giving me a hard time about it. Texting me.
We were assured it was not a hot mic when we were sitting here eating our Chick-fil-A.
We were lied to.
I hope we didn't say anything that'll get either of us fired from our current places of employment.
That we know of. That we remember.
So the winner of this match will qualify for the state duels wrestling finals next weekend in Lamar County. And this is there are 8 other area duels competitions. This is called a super quad. Coach Maldonado told me. First time they've ever done this, in part due to COVID.
So being frank in this match, anything less than a pin, and is not what the team needs. When you've got a mismatch like this, you need your stars to go out there and get pins. Just the fact that we're not there yet doesn't mean we're not getting there. We're up by 5 points. A lot of times it's hard to get that first period pin. You wear guys down, you crank on that neck long enough, they go.
So Lovett just chose neutral in this period, and I believe they did that because the takedown was so quick. In the last period, you can see it's quick here.
Eric.
Parker took him from his feet to his back, and that's what they were hoping for. They may cut him again here. They're signaling to cut him.
We've got a deep half.
He's got it.
He's taking his time with it. That's going to be a pin.
And there's the pin. So Coach Thompson was signaling for Parker to cut him. Thankfully, Parker
ignored it.
There's a pin.
Great start for the Lovett Lions.
Now we have sent out Al Coy at 138. I know they were waiting to see because Al is one of our best wrestlers. They are trying to get the matchup they want, and most likely bumping their better wrestler away from them.
Right. They had a 138-pounder who's a standout, but he's, I think, not to the caliber of Al Coy, so they're going to try to bump him, take a win at the next weight class. So this young man just got thrown to the wolves. Oh, back in, dig in that underhook. Got double unders, see if he's going to jack him up. Yep, trying to keep him in bounds.
I will give a quick shout out to one of our listeners, Ben Popkin, former Lovett wrestler.
One of the all-time Lovett greats, right?
One of the all-time Lovett greats. Ben Popkin finished third as a senior in what he assures me is one of the hardest weight classes the state of Georgia has ever seen. And he's listening today.
Now, he is probably Lovett's greatest wrestling comedian. It's a small category.
Only wrestling.
But he takes the top spot.
We've had many wrestlers who believed they were comedians. Ben actually is one.
We got double bar, double chicken wing, whatever you like to call it. You know you're in trouble if you get that locked up.
As Rocky said in the last match, Lovett is counting on a pin and needing it for 10 points.
I would think that that's imminent. However,
but it's not going to come in the way that
there's a wrestling cliche, a back technician.
Al just doesn't pin people in the way you think he's going to pin them. It's always unusual.
Yeah, I said that during the last duel. He did it in a very typical fashion, however.
So he's
trying to chin that shoulder down. We got short time, probably not going to get a pin this period. You know, this fan and wrestler is doing his job. He's plain and simple trying not to give up too many team points. He knows he's out there against the defending state champion. You know, staying off his back would be a good job for him and his team.
This is Drake Cantrell for Fannin County, who's bumped up from 132 to go against that.
Now we've got double unders. We're going to try and keep him in bounds. He's going to try to stay right on the line so he can take it out. A good stall call given. Good referees recognize when you're playing that line.
That's what
trying to lateral drop Alcoy. He's not usually going to work out in your favor. Can we keep him on our back? It looks very uncomfortable. Got that leg in, probably going to work a power half, some cross-body rides. Now he's got the bar. One of the things I feel you need to do with those bar arms, which I think you could do a little bit of a better job there, you want to keep your chest tight to their arms. You don't want to be a gap between your chest and their arms when you've got that double bar in. That keeps them from being able to wiggle their way out of there.
I was just cautioned because he needed to show the ref that he was doing what's called an optional start before he did the optional start.
That optional start is something that's been taken from the world of freestyle wrestling. So what he needs to do here is he needs to keep him in the middle. Maybe go back to those double unders, but keep it in the middle of the mat. Stop letting him play the edge.
Keep that on.
That was not a perfectly executed inside trip by any means, but you know, he's got enough dominance over his opponent here that he can get away with some minor missteps.
There's 25 seconds to go in this period. I think Lovett's going to sort of have to figure out in this third period, in order to get as many points as possible, what they want to choose. Because top, Al's having a hard time turning.
I mean, I'd imagine probably going neutral.
I would imagine.
It's one of the places he's most likely to get a pin, straight from feet to back. You can see Al is looking up at the scoreboard and the clock. He's probably getting just a little bit frustrated. He knows that he needs to get a pin out of this.
Neutral. So Lovett is choosing neutral because I think Al's best thing is to take, hope here is to take his opponent from his feet to his back.
Keep him in bounds here. Don't let him run out again.
The coaches are asking him to cut him because that's where he's standing to score his most points. But he's looked like he's going for a cradle.
Now, truly, again, if you're watching this match, you don't think that this Fannin wrestler is doing a great job, but he's actually doing exactly what he needs to do for his team. This is about as good as he can do. We've got a major in place right now, which would be 4 points. You know, they definitely want more than that. Oh, boy. Yeah, boy. Now, can he get the shoulders to the mat? That's legal the way he has it. So I don't know if he's going to be. Oh, got it.
Classic Alcoy. He got the.
Yeah, you're not going to see that every day.
Banana split spladle.
Well, it was a spladle, but it was a little bit of a funky one. And the way he used his leg to trap the head, you notice that if you look back at that, he trapped the head without crossing his legs. If he had done that, that would have made it illegal. Referee Ron DeMonico would have had to stop it. But did just enough to get the pin in that situation.
Match score is 12-0. Now, I believe this is one of their young wrestlers that they bumped to get away from Alcoy. If I'm right, this is Taylor Collis, a sophomore that they've bumped up to 145 against Nicholas Moffitt for Lubbock.
Do we actually know that to be true?
Do not, but he mentioned him specifically, and I'm pretty sure they bumped him away from Al.
Now, one of those things when you're bumping weight classes, and anyone who's wrestled has had to do it, it's always just a little bit miserable. Even when you're supposed to be the better wrestler, you know, that weight advantage can come into play. Deal with someone that's a little bit stronger than what you're accustomed to going up against.
I do not know why they just restarted that when they were already in the middle of the mat.
I don't either. They're working an underhook again. Nice. Finish. Wants to double across here. He needs to change off double across. Keep driving, keep driving. There you go. Okay, 2 points. He's got that elbow hooked up. He's using that ankle. We called that the ball and chain. You look at that. Now he's switched off the legs, but he hooked that back ankle. The coach is up and yelling as if there was an illegal hold. I didn't see one. That doesn't mean it didn't exist, but I don't know what he was talking about.
He had the leg in and he was bending the guy's knee up. Even Coach Maldonado was yelling, he's got to take that out.
You've got that cross face and a leg. We are a little high again, but and that's what happens when you get high.
Time. No change. They didn't award any change there.
I'm hoping you can all hear us over the yelling going on behind us. It's definitely getting loud around here.
It's getting very loud. Yes, the Fannin team is directly behind us. Don't know what you can hear, but referee Ron DeMonico is saying that Nicholas Moffitt had
a lot of very angry hand motions over there.
Still in control, even though his opponent had a headlock.
And that's a warning to their coach.
Bench warning to the Fannin coach.
I still don't know what they're arguing.
He's saying that there was no change. Fannin coach believed that his wrestler had a headlock and 2-point reversal.
Oh.
Ron and Coach DeMonico, or referee DeMonico, gave no change, which was a great call in my estimation.
sitting where we are in Lovett seats.
So that was a big swing right there, potential swing. We got out of the period, Lovett did, up 2-0. All right, so.
Yeah, being frank, that was one of those moments. I mean, being a referee, wrestling referee is very tough. There's just lots of situations where it can go either way. Being frank, there may have been decent referees who would have called that a different way. But, you know, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. That's locked hands because we have our hands on the mat.
Okay, locked hands.
Moffitt put his hands back down to the mat, knowing that there was locked hands and knowing that if his opponent did not break the grip, it would be a free point locked hands call. It is illegal to have your hands locked
Going for this
around your
cradle.
opponent's waist when you're on top. Fannon's got a cradle locked up,
Nope. Broke the cradle. Now he's got it locked up again.
or does he?
He's got to be careful.
Yeah, he's got
He's
the.
gonna roll.
Oh, it's
He's gotta
dangerous. It's
flatten
a
out.
dangerous situation.
He can still roll him.
Get the head out. You got to
Still
get your
gonna
head
go-
off.
he's gonna go right there.
Oh! We're going to make this exciting.
This is a heck of a flippity-floppity match where you don't know who's going to come out on top.
I believe that's the official terminology for it.
Yes,
Flippity floppity.
flippity-floppity. Nicholas needs to come out on top here. If he could just bring his head up, I think Nicholas could score. Nope, no change. Sophomore on sophomore, so I think both guys look very similarly matched.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm seeing the signs of fatigue from Fannin right now. My co-commentator is giving me a look right now like
I'm not sure.
that's not what he's seeing.
I'm not sure who's more tired.
What does he know?
Nicholas Moffitt needs to get a point here. The coaches are pleased that he's not giving up any backs. But there's 10 seconds. He needs to not give up backs.
Oh, no.
He needs to not give up
Those
the
are
backs.
two separate one counts. There was not a two count. No points. Which I bet that they're going to.
We're belying our fandom.
What's that?
We're belying our fandom. I think we're like, no. We're yelling from our spot. Okay, so it's 3-0, third period. Nicholas Moffitt did not give up any points. We're homers, I guess we would say.
Nice little Granby. Rolls into a single leg. What's he going to be able to do with it? You're that top guy right there. You want to have heavy hips. You want to keep that hip pressure on their head and shoulders. I'd like to see that back arched so you've got more weight on those hips.
We saw a stalemate coming there, which means neither wrestler could improve. So he's watched the Granby here, Nicholas Moffitt.
He's trying for that headlock again.
It's the third time.
We need to get that head out.
Pop out of there. Needs to pop that arm off.
Maybe throwing a leg, anchoring yourself down on that far side. There we go.
Nicholas Moffitt still in control on top.
So this is what I would refer to as a headhunter. Common terminology for these guys that rely on the headlock. You know, if anything, this Fannin wrestler kind of looks like the bigger wrestler here, even though we think he's going up a weight class. But a lot of these Lubbock guys are not cutting a lot of weight.
Backs. Nope. No backs.
No, push.
Nope. He needs to press
You want to push that head away. He's doing a good job with that.
He needs to not give up.
He needs to get his head out of there.
Yeah, he needs to get his head out of there. He's going to get rolled.
There you go.
40 seconds with a 3-0 lead. You know this guy from Fannin is going to hit a roll at some point or a headlock.
He's going for a rooster here. I mean, he's going to go all or nothing. It's big move or nothing.
This match is this close to going the other direction. He gave him a 2-point reversal. There's 10
if I was
seconds to
them,
go.
I would cut and go for a quick takedown. It doesn't look like that's what they're going to try, which is good for us. All he has to do is hang on.
And a 3-2 win.
It's a big match for Lovett.
Big win. So Lovett picked up the 3-2 win for Nicholas Moffett, which makes the match score 15-0 for Lovett.
So you look at that situation from a strategic standpoint. They bumped up one of their better wrestlers a weight class up to avoid Al Coy, which is frankly probably a smart move, but it did not pan out for them. They still lost the match 3-2.
I'm tired after that match. This is 152. This is a state qualifier for Fannin, Corbin, Davenport going against Will LeCompte.
Tired after that one, huh?
I'm exhausted.
In fairness, can't tell. You always look sleepy. Especially anytime after about 8:30 p.m. The Wrestling Reverend over here is one of those early to bed people.
Come on. I bumped it up a half hour over the last year.
Oh, that was a nasty headlock.
It was a big headlock.
Well,
He needs to look where he is.
It's got it tight. That's going to be tough. LeCompte is a fighter, but that is a tough position. Yeah.
And there's a pin for Davenport for Fannin County.
So very often you can watch a few matches and learn a lot about a team. It's safe to say we've got some headhunters on this Fannin crew. They like the headlock. So hopefully coaches and wrestlers for Lovett are taking note and realizing they need to look out for that.
This is for Fannin, if I have this correctly, McKay Turner it is, and he was third in state last year going against Finn Bresnahan for Lovett. So this is a tough matchup.
This is actually going to be a really interesting match for us. Finn has done a great job this year. He is a high placement. He has high placement potential for state this year. I know he gave up the first two, but I'm not giving up on this yet. And I have seen him get tougher as the match goes on.
Finn Bresnahan has really committed himself to wrestling and has improved over the last couple of years just by working really hard and has become a heck of a wrestler. But he's going against a kid who's pretty tough.
So this is a match that could be in medal rounds at the state tournament later this year. Yeah, you never want to be on your belly on bottom. It's a bad spot. You've got to work back up to your base. He needs to try to work up, get his base under him, his knees under him, get to a position to score. Not much you can do from your belly.
I just sent a shout out I was given instructions to give a shout out to Austin Davis, former Lovett wrestler, state finalist for the Lovett Lions back in 2000.
Is he a valedictorian too? He's one of them smart kids, I believe.
He would like us to say he was valedictorian, but I don't believe he was.
Is that not true? Did I just make that up?
I think you just made that up. His sister was pretty smart.
Not so much yet.
No, Austin's a smart kid too.
That was actually a really great grade for Lovett. I believe they had 8 starters in that senior class. Is that accurate?
Sounds about right.
What year was that?
Oh boy, 2009-ish.
Sounds about right.
10, 9.
As a matter of fact, referee Ron DeMonico, his son, was in that grade.
Daniel DeMonico. Little history on the state duels while we're watching this match. Lovett won the first 2 state duels when they came around, when they began them back in the early 2000s, and haven't won one since.
champions. What year? What year are you saying is the last one?
2002 and 2003.
This is a year where we have legitimate hopes of winning it again. Oglethorpe County is supposed to be really good. That's going to be the top competition out there. There is a concern with injuries right now, whether or not we're going to have a full lineup to compete with them next weekend.
I think that's been a big shame for Lovett in the last week, that we had two very serious injuries that are keeping starters out today. Which I'm biased, but I believe would have made this a foregone conclusion with those two guys.
This match right here, you mean?
100%. We would have. There would be a lot less hand wringing if we had those two guys.
Yeah, we've got thrown enough injuries into the mix where we have to worry about the outcome of this one. And again, to that point, Finn Bresnahan has been one of the better wrestlers on this team this year. So anytime you've got one of your better wrestlers losing, you know you're going to have a competition.
End of the second period, Lovett down 2-0 against Fannin, and they're choosing bottom.
This Fannin wrestler has never really put Bresnahan in jeopardy from top. He's just doing a good job of just solid controlling the match. We weren't in jeopardy of getting turned, but we weren't in jeopardy of getting out either.
That was a roll.
Skinny man roll?
Not a skinny man roll. We used to call that the fat man roll, but he's not fat. That's because
we allowed to use that expression anymore?
I'm not sure.
I don't know any other name for it.
Well, it's because the heavyweights often hit that side roll. They use their girth to their advantage.
Being round makes that move easier. I have become much better at it in recent years.
The rounder you've become. So 4-0. I hate to say it. I wonder if Lovett would be actually somewhat pleased with a 4-0 finish in this match.
I don't know that I agree with that assessment. I mean, it's one of those matches where we're only down by 4, but the opponent is definitely controlling the action. At the same time, I'm not seeing anything where I feel like we're in jeopardy of big points. Now, that said, if I was a fan and coach, I think I probably would have cut him a couple times, tried to lock up at least the major. I'm surprised they're not looking at the scoreboard, looking at that right now.
As a matter of fact, I'm getting closer to my mic, hoping nobody hears it.
I agree. They need to be going for a major here. They need to be cutting him.
Plain and simply, I consider that a strategic failure.
They've already gotten 1 point for stalling, so they're up 5-0 now. They hit Lovett for a stall, which is their way of saying that it looks to the referee that the bottom man is not doing a lot to try to escape.
That's another stalling call.
Hit him with another stall point. There's 10 seconds to go in the match. It's 6-0. So
everyone who has ever wrestled hates the stall call when the guy on top of you has a bar arm in. It is, you feel like you can't do anything and the referee's dinging you for stalling.
So they picked up a decision on that one, 3 team points, which will make the team score now 15-9.
6-0 on a wrestler like Finn Bresnahan that's a solid win. That's a tough kick.
Okay, now Lovett is waiting to see who Fannin puts out.
I don't know if this guy is capable of holding his arms further out from the sides. He's heavy on that head, this Fannin wrestler. He's out there trying to brawl. A lot of times these guys slow down.
They're they're yelling out, "Let's go Bryson." So I assume this is Bryson Bradburn, who's wrestling 170.
I think he looks big for that.
He weighs 160
Okay,
pounds.
all right.
So he's a little smaller than Luke. Luke Graham for Lovett at 170 pounds.
You'll notice those fiery chopping hands of Fannin have already slowed down a little bit. He came out on fire. Throw it. If you're gonna do it, do it. That's just going for that headlock too hard. He probably had an easy 2 he could have taken. He does love that headlock, and it pays off for him on occasion. Trying to work back up to his base, get those knees back under him. Now's his opportunity to come up to his feet. Coach, was it you that talked Luke Graham into wrestling in middle school?
I know he had some friends that were doing it, and I was talking to him, his friends were talking to him, and we're just glad that he came out, and he's really shown a lot of improvement over the years. Plays football as well. It was a nice escape. 2-1. Got away with 5 seconds to go.
So my quick observation on this one is this is a winnable match for us that we need to find a way to win, plain and simply. We gave up that first takedown trying to go for the pin, but we need to just score our points 2 at a time, get a win out of this. Now he's trying some funk. It got stopped. Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's interesting that he stopped that. But gave him
in the old days, I could have seen that as called for 2. In the modern era, he was trying for a little funk roll. He's grabbed that ankle. He was going to try and roll underneath, which is something he commonly does. It's one of his go-to moves.
Luke Graham's going to have to figure out a way to get a takedown here.
He needs to circle behind right now, not try to get greedy. Just take your 2. Easy 2. There you go.
4-4.
Got a leg in, working for a power half.
He doesn't have the power.
Don't try to force it. Take your time. You got lots of time. Just get your points. There we go. Start count. A lot of times people make a mistake with legs in where they're trying to go too quickly from position to position and they get themselves in trouble.
He picked up 3 backs, so it's 7-4. Has a nice use of the legs on that one. Now they're looking for another power half. If he gets his power half, just don't make it illegal. Coach, the official's looking for.
So we're not close to getting 8 points here, but I tell you, it's miserable being underneath with double legs in. It wears you down. It's still working to your benefit. So to use the very technical term you heard from Steve Allen earlier, what we want to avoid here is flippity floppity.
He's trying to get the power half back in there, see if he can pick up some more points to give himself a cushion going into the 3rd period.
Short time, can you get the points? We got at least 2. It looks like referee Rondomonaco did count to 5. We're going to get 3 points out of that.
3 more.
Yeah.
10-4. It's Lovett's choice.
So
they're going to go down because he hasn't been able to hold him.
Wrestle smart is what we need to do here. Wrestle smart, meaning don't go for the big move and get caught in something.
He's got a score here.
No, he's got that ankle again, looking to.
He's going to give him 2 points again, I believe.
Well, he started on top, Steve.
No, they were neutral. We'd already gotten our point. No, he didn't give him the 1. He didn't give him the 1.
We're sorry, folks. He's getting old and senile over here.
There we go. There we go. He needs to keep that.
We're starting to run away with this match.
Watch your head there, Luke. 12-4. Luke's trying to get those legs back in and look for his power half.
There. Stay right there. Don't try to force it too much. Just get your points. Yep.
Picked up 2 more backs. It's 14-4.
Is it 2 or 3?
Pick up 3. He's got to be careful. There he is.
So might be able to pull off a technical fall out of this. Coaches are signaling to let him roll out of it because they want to turn him again. There. And he heard them. He listened.
18-4. He's got a 14-point lead. He needs 1 more point.
I think we have a good chance of getting it here. Now, once he turns them, they're going to try to force the pin. They're not going to. They're going to tell him to do everything he can to get that pin.
Got the pin. That was big.
Nicely done, Luke Graham.
The way that started out, it was 4-1. We were losing, so he ended up picking up 14 points and getting the pin. Big swing right there. Levitt is now up 21-9. That was a big one.
I'm sure they were feeling very hopeful at the beginning of that. Nothing I like better than squashing their hope.
Nothing better. Okay. We are now at 182 pounds. Levitt has MJ Greentree. And looks like this is Colby Shaw for Fannin County.
MJ just looks like a wrestler, doesn't he?
He does.
I like the haircut, but
he wrestles
I'm
like
biased. In fairness, Levitt has a long history of wrestlers who do not look like wrestlers.
Case in point.
Gangly, pasty white folk.
Rocky Coffee.
I definitely fit the pasty white bill.
By bumping up their wrestler, Shaw, to the 182-pound weight class, he's a little bit undersized. Hopefully this works to Levitt's advantage. MJ weighs about 180 pounds.
So when you get up into these upper weights, a lot of matches can be described as a lot of hand fighting. That's a good 2 for us.
MJ with 2.
So team score 21-9. As a reminder, the meat of our lineup, the power of our lineup is in the lower half. So they're going to be running into some buzzsaws when they hit the lower half of our lineup. We started at 132, is that right?
We did. Okay, 2-1. Levitt is winning, and we're down in the second period. Fannin is on top.
So winning this duel would put Levitt, I'm not going to start counting chickens, in a good position for the next weekend state tournament.
A lot of wrestling left here. Coach Kaufman, Mr. Kaufman.
I don't like that leg coming in. Again, on your belly's never where you want to be. We got to build back up to our base. Come on, let's up and out, up and out. Let's get. Oh, don't go back down.
Lots. thought those were locked hands.
I wish that you all could have seen Coach Allen jumping out of his seat yelling locked hands a moment ago. We are definitely for the home team over here.
I will make sure referee DeMonico hears from me before this day is over. MJ needs to work to get the point.
I didn't see a locked hands, but I'll take it just the same. We really need to score one here.
No, don't lay back.
No.
Don't lay back. Well, that was a big swing. Fannin got the pin there. Big swing. Fannin with the pin when it looked like MJ was in control of the match early on. So that was just gave him right back one that we got the previous match. All right, we move on to 95 pounds.
We got to shut this down now, not let it be a momentum shift. We do have a freshman we're sending out there, but
if this is
we're going against Muffin Top, so that bodes well.
This is Ryan Crowder against Christian Bell for Lovett.
Again, as we discussed earlier, Christian Bell here, he's going to be one of the ones to watch for in the future. Really good athlete, really good kid. He's the kind of kid you look to win a state title down the road. He's a freshman. That's not going to happen this year, but I'll put my money down now saying it's going to happen.
I would agree with you there. So this is a big match. I think at this point every match is big. So we'll see what happens.
Now, although Christian Bell is a freshman, he's got two things in his favor. One, he is a very good athlete. He has been wrestling. Started in our youth program, 6 or 7 years old. He even worked a little bit with the legend Arturo Holmes. So, kid knows how to wrestle.
One thing I'll say for Fannin is they have a lot of kids that have been wrestling for a lot of years, and they're no slouches in their lineup.
So you look at that chin whip, and that's a dangerous position. Well, and the reason we were able to get out of that.
That was a tough position right there. No score.
Is leg power. Oh, this kid's excited now. Team score 21-15. What do you think they're saying to him over there? What are those coaches yelling over there in the corner?
Love it. Get a pin. We need a pin.
That would be Buddy Warren's favorite coaching technique. Just yell, pin him, repeatedly. I miss Buddy. He's retired to Florida now.
Yeah. Christian's still kind of figuring out his style on his feet. That's one thing I've noticed about him. Still trying to figure out what his style is from neutral.
I would say that I think that he's got a really good high crotch single, and I would like to see him using it more. I'd like to see coaches telling him to take that shot. Don't be scared to hit it. He's hard to stop.
I don't think he believes in it quite yet. I don't think he's confident in it quite yet. And that comes with being a freshman.
Yeah, I think he came into the season with a lot of confidence. I mean, he dominated at the middle school level, and I think he took some lumps early in the year, as most freshmen do. I think you're right. I think it has beat down his confidence a little bit.
How about a caution, Ron?
I don't know what's going on. If you didn't see that, Christian Bell literally grabbed his opponent's hand and put it in the right spot for him.
I want to yell, it's a caution, Mr. Official.
Shoot. Like to see him fire off a couple shots here. There's one. Keep him going. So we're up by 1 point. This Fannin kid is feeling lucky on that throw. I don't think that he realizes that Christian is savvy enough and strong enough where now he knows it's coming. I just don't think he's going to get it.
He's in on
drive
it.
through him. He wants to drive right through him right now. There you go. Good job.
2-point takedown, 3-0 lead.
Christian did a good job of just spreading out his weight.
Coach Maldonado is screaming for Christian to chop that arm and break him flat.
We want to keep I'd like to see Christian on his toes right now, putting more weight and pressure on him.
He wants him
Keep
to be
him
on
down.
this side, yes, so he doesn't get rolled.
We're up 3-0.
He's looking for the rocker.
He's looking.
That is his move. Interestingly, you can still get it from here.
Yep. He may be able to sneak this in. If he can get that shoulder under his chest. Right now he doesn't have it there. He needs to get the shoulder underneath the chest. He could change this off to a cradle, bring the leg over to the head.
Got to keep the forearm on top behind the neck. Once that elbow comes over top, he's not going to get it.
Now,
But he's still going for it, and what it does is it puts the opponent on the defensive, which helps for wearing him out a little bit.
and you know, and the opponent's on his belly, just trying to avoid getting pinned. Just gave up a stall call because of it.
Got to get that forearm on the head and the shoulder. He's got to get shoulder deep. There it goes.
He might.
He may have it.
He might have it. Oh.
Well, 10 seconds to go in this period. He may still get it.
Boy, this
He
kid
may
wants
still
to keep
get it.
popping back up
Even with
to
5
it.
seconds to go.
We're getting back points out of it.
He got
Better
the
than
5
nothing.
count. 3-point near fall. Score is 6-0.
Now we got to keep in mind with this Fannin crew,
They're
They like-
choosing neutral.
they like to go big. He's going to try a headlock. He's going to try a lat drop. He's going to try go feet to back.
They shook hands again.
The old third period handshake.
Christian really has to stay away from the big move.
Exactly. He needs to be shooting. He needs to just shoot, drive through, keep it simple. Let's get that takedown, ride it out. Little duck under right there would be nice. He's just up there.
The thing about it is he's got to be careful of this kid's hip toss. Any kind of a duck under type of situation.
It's a stall
Lord.
call against us.
Love
It's
it.
now one for each of them, I believe.
He was backing up, backed
Yep.
up to the edge
Yep.
of the mat. You're right, stall call for each guy.
6-0 in this match for Lovett. 21-15 for Lovett. Team score.
Watch the toss.
So there's that duck.
That's it. That's
changed
it.
off to
Watch the
like,
roll.
oh,
Watch the
get your
roll.
leg.
Sag.
There you go.
And if he gets backs, he
Let's
might get
go.
a major here.
Let's at least lock up that major. You want to jump sides and get to that half right now. Try to pin him.
So they picked up 3 more and a takedown, so it should be 8.
He still has that half.
Should be 8
He
plus
needs
3.
to get around.
Should
He
be
needs to
11.
run around the head.
Should be 11 because it was 6-0. We got a 2-point takedown and a 3-point
That
near
was
fall.
a full Nelson.
It should be. We get 3 more or 2 more, 2 or 3 more.
Score check. Score check.
So they're checking the score. By my count, it should either be. It was 6-0. They chose neutral. We got 2 and 2, which should be 10 instead of 9, unless he gave us 2 and 3, which would be 11.
They also got 1.
And they got 1.
That was we had a half Nelson in. Common mistake drives coaches crazy. You got a half Nelson in, and you run that hand up the other side. You only have to touch the other side of their head. Your hands don't need to meet for it to be called a full
The
Nelson.
problem for them is this is giving them a break. This kid was getting very tired.
Yeah, he's going to be on bottom.
I'd love to walk over to the table and tell them what I saw, but I can't.
Well, you could.
It was 6-0 when that exchange started. When the period started, correct?
I believe that's correct.
And it
yes,
was neutral.
That is correct.
And we got 2 takedown and picked up some.
Had to
points.
have scored at least 4.
Yes. Oh, hey, Rocky, we're on camera. Hello, Levitt Wrestling fans. They finally showed our beautiful mugs.
Surprised they did that with these faces for radio.
They did give us the 3 because it was 2 and 3, and so it's 11, and it's 11-1 if they gave him the full Nelson.
Was it a full Nelson or wasn't it? I don't see the 1.
I guess not. So it's 11-0.
Okay. What did he stop the match for if it wasn't for the full
I'm
Nelson?
guessing Christian's going to go back to that move, which he is.
Going back to the well. Yeah, we got to work on getting that shoulder under the chest. His neck is not going to feel good tomorrow.
He's going to need some Bengay.
Bengay. Does anyone use that anymore? I think you're dating yourself.
I don't even know if that exists.
Everybody in their 20s right now is wondering what that is.
All right, what do you call it? Icy hot. 14 seconds for the major. Needs to not get rolled.
Christian was smart right there. It was subtle. Oh. Fannin Kid was trying to reach back, just looking to get something big, and Christian knew just to.
Love it with the 4-point major decision, which makes the score 25-15. It's got to be. They got to give us one more. They got to get 24, but it's 25. 25. Kip's going over to make sure they got it. 25-15. Wells Camersham for Levitt. Wells was a state runner-up last year, and he is a solid wrestler.
Wells this year is a kid that we're hoping for a state title.
Yes.
And it's just plain and simple. He's still going to have to go out there and earn it, but he certainly has the potential to be a state champ this year.
Always looks like he's on a mission.
Does, doesn't he?
Fannin, we know, is going to pick up 6 points at heavyweight, so that's another part of this match that makes it even closer.
You remember when we used to coach Wells in middle school, and he would get himself in some awful positions and somehow always wind up on top.
We called him Gumby.
Yeah.
Because he was very flexible.
Oddly flexible for a big man.
You know the reference to Gumby. Is that another old one? Am I that old guy again? Give you my age away?
Beat me to it. I seriously made a Gumby reference to my daughter recently, and she looked at me just definitely with that, what is Gumby in her eyes.
Gumby and Pokey. I can tell you that Coach Maldonado is hoping for a pin at this weight.
One of those other things about Wells is a lot of these big men slow down rapidly after that first period. He typically will stay active throughout the whole match. And that's really where he gets his big advantage. You see him in the third period. You're not going to get a break.
Is there something wrong with me that I'm nervous?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the score's 25-15. It's still in range, but
I mean, I know there's something wrong with me. I just wondered if there's something wrong with me because I'm nervous. All right, 4-1, second period. I missed that. Did we choose neutral?
apparently we're both spacing out. Missed it as well.
Oh,
Glad I could help.
You saw the look on their wrestler's face. I believe his head hit the mat pretty hard.
I mean, can we be honest for a minute and just acknowledge that we all start spacing out when you get to the upper weights? I mean, that's historically and famously true of the sport of wrestling.
That's not right. I'm sure their parents are not spacing out.
I'm sorry to all you heavyweights, but it's accurate.
All right, 6 1. Lovett Fannin is down. And Wells on top.
That was,
How about a caution?
that was a jump.
Okay. We don't have to give referee DeMonico as much grief as we would have liked to. You know, I feel like I need to say something here about being a homer of an announcer. Richard Jarakitis, who calls the football game, is a notorious homer. And whenever the refs place
it's a Lovett broadcast, right?
Yes, but whenever the officials place the ball, wherever they place it, he goes, "That's a horrible spot." So I feel like I need to do the same about Ron. That's a horrible ball.
The casual push away because he's letting him know he plans on taking him down again. Underhook.
I think we realize we're going to score off our feet against this guy.
Using that leg tap.
Just keep doing it. At this point, they need to probably just keep cutting him.
Using that little leg tap on his feet, make him kick that leg back, and then snapping his head down so he can circle behind for an easy 2.
Oh, he's got
Trying
the
to
bar,
work that.
huh?
Yep, working that bar arm in. Oh, he's got it. He might go. We got 10 seconds. We might get points out of this. I doubt we'll get a pin.
That gave him 2. 10-2. Third period.
They're taking neutral. I don't think I would have done that. I think I would have taken top.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're hoping to win the match and maybe throw, but
Well, they're trying to
I don't see it.
burn as much time as possible, is what I think. Look, if they get out of this without a major, this would be huge for them.
I mean, right now, they've got a major in place.
Wells needs to step it up. That's 30 seconds gone.
Yeah, that's what we got to be worried about. Well, they went for it. I guess they did have a plan.
They did have a plan. And he foiled it.
There was a moment there where I thought we were in trouble.
Agreed. It's 12-2. The major's in place. I know Wells is looking for the pin.
Put that Turk in.
At this point, cutting him wouldn't do any good.
If you see the way he's got that leg hooked right there, that's called a Turk.
There he goes. Yeah, he needs to hold that there.
Difficult to get a pin from there. Easy to get back
There he
points.
goes. He got the pin. And
But
Wells is
I was
back.
getting ready to say, in the upper weights, it becomes more likely.
Well, that was a quick.
Hey, they're shaking hands out there. I don't think
Yeah.
they're supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's a COVID super spreader right there. All right, well, that was a pin that Lovett needed and came pretty quick there in the third period. Now we're giving up a forfeit. As we said earlier, William Stimmel for Lovett injured his knee a week ago, so we unfortunately had to give up 6 there.
So I got to say, I saw that last wrestler come off the mat for Fannin, and I saw him say to his coach, nodding his head no, and said, "I'm sorry." I have to say, I got a little emotional there. Like we've all been there. The kid went out there against a defending state runner-up, wrestling for Lovett, and he gave it his all. He got pinned, gave up 6 points for his team, but did everything he could.
Having had a son who got injured and gave up part of the end of his season, I feel bad for William Stimmel. I know it hurts. This is for Fannin. This is Blake Summers. He's a freshman. And
Nothing yet because he's got
Lovett,
that ankle.
it's Jack Keegan.
Still working for it, not giving it up. Well, he gave up 2, but he didn't give it up easy, did he? Jack Geegan comes from another old school Lovett wrestling family. Both his dad and uncle wrestled for Lovett. Mark Geegan, his uncle, was actually one of my teammates, class of 1992.
There's 4 weights to go. This is going to be an interesting ending. It's going to come down to some pins here. If somebody picks up a couple of pins.
Jack Egan can best be described as scrappy. Sophomore, he's got a couple years left. Definitely an important piece of this lineup in the future. Battling a little bit of an injury right now. He is dealing with a tough opponent here. Only a freshman, but this is, the Fannin coach says this is one of his best wrestlers for the future here. And he thinks he's got state placement potential this year. And if you older guys are wondering, no, that hair would not have been allowed just a few years ago.
And some of you remember they used to have to wear a head covering, which always came off. And I'm really glad they got rid of the head covering. The guys with longer hair had to wear. 2-0.
I always enjoyed those guys who were in terrible shape who managed to make their head covering come off just as they started to get tired, coincidentally.
It was a silly rule that they had to wear those. Provided all kinds of problems in the matches. Keegan trying to get his point, don't lay back.
You can see the elbow pad, Jack Egan's left arm. Unfortunately, practice injury.
Watch the toe, watch that toe. I would say if we had Jake Kennedy right now, I'd be feeling very good. So just tough loss. Hopefully if we win this match, we'll have him back for next weekend.
Yeah, we've got a stellar Superfrost Jake Kennedy, who's not in the lineup this week, who's definitely one of the horses of this lineup.
He's out. There's reversal.
There we go. Can he hang on to it? Let's wear him down. Want to keep that top position as long as we can. Come on.
Good motion, good motion. You can tell this kid has been wrestling for a while. He's got a motor. He's got a motor.
You always know Egan's going to give you everything he's got.
That's a good little shrug. Right to 2 points. So 5-2.
So the team score of 31-21. You know, they're looking for bonus points on this. He needs to get his right arm through right there. He's almost out. He needs to come under that ankle. Right now he's over the top of it. Needs to come under it. There's nothing worse than.
Fannin Wrestler Summers tried a little side roll there. She used to call it a zook. And didn't get it.
Yeah, that side headlock roll, one of the things you always have to do is you got to keep that head and arm tight. You want to keep that arm of theirs extended so they can't get it between the bodies.
Got some kind of a, no kind of a cradle. All right, end of the second period, 5-2. Fannin chooses down and they're winning the match. This is a tight match. Caution.
We'll take our caution.
Why is he not giving cautions today?
I don't know.
I want to yell, but I better not. I will definitely take this
It would be a little bit odd from the commentator's booth.
I don't understand why he didn't caution the bottom guy, but he just cautioned
top. Yeah. We need to get him back to the mat quickly so we don't get hit for stalling.
6-2.
Yeah. So 6-2, it's a third period. You know, we're hoping not to give up the major here. Obviously, you hope for a win, but that's not out of reach, but it's unlikely at this point. Come on. There you go. Hips up, hips up. Now,
Okay,
are they gonna cut him? What do you think?
I think they would be smart to. But let's keep this to ourselves. Now, I know they're obviously hoping Buchanan County fans are unhappy with that call.
They are quite unhappy.
The referee might need a escort out of the gym if we win.
I don't think they're that unhappy.
Rocky, would you be willing to be his escort?
Escorting people out of places I used to be pretty good at, but now if I can't get it done in 15 seconds, it's
Being
not
escorted
happening.
out of places is something you were good at yourself. Okay, it's 8-3.
Wait a minute.
I know your dad was pretty good at that too.
That is factual.
All right, 10-3. It's a 7-point lead.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, if they were smart,
they're going at some point. If he can't turn him, they're going to cut him. They're going to try for another takedown.
he needs to not give up any backs here.
At this point, honestly, giving up 4 doesn't feel all that bad. We just need to make sure we don't
Needs
get
to
our
not
back
get
and give up
turned.
more.
Don't let him step through. Don't let him step through.
I would.
Yeah, he's got that Turk in there. He's got to crawl forward. Coaches are yelling for him to crawl forward so he doesn't get turned. 15 seconds to go. This is a nail biter.
Tell you what.
Well, they are
he is
cutting
cutting
him.
him.
With
I'm
9
staying on that
seconds, he needs to
line.
not
Stay where
give
you
that
are.
up.
Don't give it.
Oh.
Oh, no. He can't give it up there. Nope.
Hold the leg. If he
Nope.
holds the leg,
Nothing yet.
hold the leg.
Nothing yet. Nope.
No
2.
change. 10-3.
So that was the
Wow.
correct call. If
Wow.
I was their coach, I would be going to the table and asking about it because that's what you have to do. But he had that ankle wrapped up. I believe it was a no call. You disagree with me there, do you?
Well, no, I couldn't see it. What I was wondering is why they waited until there was 9 seconds to go to cut it.
Yeah, they should have definitely
They should
cut
have
him.
cut it. They should
far
have gone
earlier.
for the major earlier on. Their coach is unhappy, and I understand. Oh, that's a team point, by the way. We just got another bench warmer. That makes the score. We just went up by one. We just got another point.
So if this thing comes down to the wire, that match could easily be the difference.
By the way,
They could have
so that should be 32. Yes, they're going to give a team point here. 32-24 instead of 31-24. They're about to flip that. Yes. Yep, 32. That's a big point. Okay, now we've got Alex Hyman, and this.
I don't know where to begin. What do you say about Alex Hyman?
He's tough.
This is a fiery kid. That usually is greatly to our advantage. Occasionally, it can backfire a little bit. But he is a competitor.
So, Rocky, if we win this match, and this is 113, there's only 120, 126 to go. The match is over if we win by pin, correct? 38-24, it would be 36 could be the best they could get. So if he wins by pin, this match is over.
And he is known to be a pinner.
He's also so a little crazy and wild out there that he has gotten himself in trouble at times. He's awarding back points. He's giving Levitt back points that they haven't. They're 4-0.
He was just clarifying the score. Is that what
He was
going
trying
on?
to get them to
Gotcha.
add 2 more.
So Hyman is tough on top and can certainly pin from that position. But I'd say that he's as likely or more likely to pin you from going feet to back.
Alex has had a little trouble on top, sometimes getting high, and when on top, when he falls off the top, and he's gotten pinned. So I know he's working on that. He's tough on top, and then he gets in a bad position, and he's gotten pinned a couple times. So he needs to be real careful. So Levitt's cutting him.
I think that's a smart move. Hyman was getting a little frustrated from the top position. Coach Maldonado saw it, asked him if he wanted to cut him, put him back up on his feet. Let's run up the score. And again, we might be able to get pinned from our feet.
By the way, if we don't get a pin here, it's going to come down to the final 2 weight classes, and they have one very good kid left, at least one good kid.
Which kid do they have coming up?
Henson finished 6th last year to Alex Hyman. Alex took 5th, Henson took 6th. at 106 last year, and he'll go 120. So they've got a very good kid going at 120, and then if we don't get a pin here, it would come down to 126.
Yeah, we definitely feel a lot better today with a couple of those starters in the lineup that we didn't have. Trying to get to, there you go, 2 points.
Josh Robinson will go 26 for 11, which is good.
Six to 1 going into the second period. Up by 10 in the team score. 8, 32-24.
Now I'll just keep running these scenarios. If we get a major decision, it would be 36-24. We could give up 2 pins, but then could be a tie, 36-36 when it finished, and it would come down to criteria.
Which I believe that first criteria is by the fact that the coach gave up a team point, that
You're right.
means we would win.
I believe you're right. And I don't often believe that you're right.
You and my wife.
I knew your wife and I had something.
Every once in a while, I sneak in something factual.
All right, so 7-1. They cut us loose on this one. Yes, a major would be huge. Alex,
More would be better.
Alex just needs to wrestle. He's smiling at his opponents.
On the bright side, if he gets a pin and loses a team point, we'd still win.
It's a positive way to think about it.
I am an optimist.
Yes, you are.
Come on. There you go.
Yeah.
Run it, run it. Got to commit to it. Keep running around the head. It's a common mistake I see, which is guys get a half Nelson in and they keep trying to jump from side to side, changing which side they're throwing the half in. You get a half in deep, you just run it. You run it until they go over or you get stopped. There we go. Can we finish it here? This would be the meat for Lovett if he can get this pin. Yeah.
Very nice.
He continues his reputation as being a pinner.
That was a big pin. That puts us up 38-24, and with 2 weights to go, that means Lovett, unless, Rafi, I just don't want to give up 2 penalty points. So, Rocky, please do not give up anything big from your chair here.
Well, let's be honest. If that was to happen, it's coming from Kip Thompson in the corner.
That's a good point.
Everyone knows it.
All right, now this is Kanan Henson for them. He is a solid wrestler. As I said, he finished 6th in the state. He beat Alex Hyman once or twice last year, and then lost to him for 5th and 6th.
Say, he went for not the man bun or the mustache, but the man bun and a mustache. You have to be good for a look like that. It's like having pink wrestling shoes.
On a side note, I just got a text that somebody wants to buy my house, and I'm not even trying to sell it. Somebody keeps texting me. They want to buy my house. Just a side note.
It's probably for someone from that class of 2009.
By the way, I did hear back from Austin Davis that said he could neither confirm nor deny that he was valedictorian. I don't know.
We're going to go with not valedictorian.
I'm going to go with deny.
Did he confirm or deny whether or not his sister was smarter?
He did confirm that he went to that awful school up north. I'm an Ohio State fan, so I can't even say the name. So. All right.
Logan Lutz here.
Logan Lutz is going against a tough kid.
Yeah, he's going to be a good wrestler. He's got some years left, but He's young, going against a defending state placer. Wasn't really in that match.
That was a tough one. And now we have the final match. Josh Robinson for Lovett. I hope we didn't hear that on camera.
For the record, if anybody heard that, that was not our team. That was the other team's wrestler coming off the mat saying
Let's
that.
just hope they didn't hear it. Looks like this might.
Speaking of valedictorians, I believe Josh Robinson is one of those weird guys with that weighted average over a 4.0.
It makes him weird.
I don't know what that looks like. I've never seen one of those on a report card.
Josh is tough. He's a senior. He's just really, really done a super job for the Lovett team over the course of his career. He's really hoping to end on a high note this year at the state wrestling tournament. Great kid.
Just one of those kids that just quietly does his job. You're not going to see him out there being loud. Just goes out there, works hard, gets the job done. I don't know if you've seen him roaming around. We've got our athletic director, Adam Nelson, in the house. Former, also class of 1993 wrestler. He would tell you quickly it was his worst sport, but his best coach under Jim Glasser. Three-time Olympic champion in the shot put. Played football at Dartmouth. MBA
Nice.
from Virginia.
Nice cradle.
But Adam has proven to be a wrestling fan. Anytime we've got something going on at home, he's here. He has been leader by example. Jim Glasser, Coach Glasser would be proud. You'll see our athletic director walking around picking up garbage and stuff after meets. Really nice to see.
This is the final match of this super quad.
You're calling this a super quad.
It's a super quad. That's what Coach Maldonado told me. I thought it was
I feel
an
like
interesting name.
I feel like we're using the superlative super
It's a super quad.
liberally. It's definitely a quad.
Well, maybe it's just a fantastic quad. Second period, Lovett leading 5-0, winning on the team score 38-30 in this last match.
I feel guilty. I'm not really paying as much attention or as hyped as I should because we've won and it's over. So
You should be paying
we should give Josh more respect on this.
Oh,
but
Josh. Go for that, buddy. It looks like he's about to pin him.
Oh.
Wow.
interesting.
Ron and I are going to have a few words after this meet. It was a good match. Well, that takes care of that. It was final score of 44 to 30. For Lovett, no handshaking allowed. So they're basically making fist bumps at one another.
Sets us up for next week. Like we've talked about, we've had a couple of good guys out of the lineup. Hopefully we're healing and mending for next week. Adding another wrestler or two back into the lineup because we will face a much bigger challenge next weekend.
Lovett does certainly hope to get some people back in their lineup for next week. It was a great win. Next week, we will not be broadcasted, I don't believe, although that remains to be seen. But Lovett will be at Lamar County for the state wrestling dual championships. And we will certainly be there watching if we're not broadcasting. Rocky, any final comments about today's match?
No, regardless of what they did out there, you did a fantastic job, Steve. Just you.
Thank you. And
It's all about you.
I'd love to turn the tables and say the same to you, but I'll just say thank you. Thank you to our broadcast team, Mr. Jared Kiedis and Miss Pope, Michelle Pope, and who ran this broadcast from the booth, set up the camera. And I want to thank you all for being with us today. for tuning in and watching Love It with a great victory, and we hope to see you in another broadcast in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.